Have you ever set a goal, got super motivated, bought the planner, downloaded the app, watched all the YouTube videos, and then 3 weeks later, you're right back where you started? Yeah, me too. And that's why Atomic Habits by James Clear is one of my favorite books, and it completely changed the way that I think about discipline and success. And if you've watched my videos, you probably heard me mention Atomic Habits and the principles in the book several times. And that's because here's the truth. It's not that we lack motivation. It's not that we're lazy. And it's not that we're broken. It's just that we are using the wrong strategy. And that's why I'm breaking down the book in a way that's simple, practical, and completely doable. Especially if you're over 40 and you're busy and you're tired and you're trying to build a life without burning out. So let's go. James Clear starts with one powerful idea, the power of tiny changes. It means that small habits repeated daily leads to massive change. Not overnight, not in 30 days, but over time. He calls this the 1% rule. If you improve just 1% every day, you will be 37 times better in a year. However, the reverse is also true. If you get 1% worse every year, you'll almost hit zero. Now, think about that. Most people don't fail because they make terrible decisions. They fail because they make tiny, unhelpful decisions consistently. Like skipping one workout, scrolling for just 5 minutes, eating one more cookie, pushing things off and saying, you know what, I'll just start on Monday. Yes, individually, these choices seem harmless, but they compound over time and they shape your life. But here is the beautiful part. The same is true for good habits as well. Just one push-up, one glass of water, one page of reading, one walk around the block. It adds up slowly over time and it changes your life. And you don't need a breakthrough, you just need a system. Now, this is where James Clear really flips the script. He says that goals are about the results that you want, but systems, they're really about the process that leads you up to those results. You see, everyone has goals, but not everyone succeeds. Why? Well, think about it, because winners and losers often have the same goals. Two people, they both want to lose 30 pounds. Two people, they both want to start a YouTube channel. Two people, they both want to save more money. But the difference isn't the goal. It's the system that gets one person there while the other one falls behind. You see, if you're only focused on the outcome, you will feel stuck when progress is slow. But if you simply build a system, you trust the process, you have faith, and you keep going, then success is inevitable. When I first started trying to get healthier in my 40s, my goal was just to lose weight. But then I realized that that didn't change my daily behavior. What did change my life was finally building a system that I could sustain. I started working out for just 20 minutes a day. I started prepping all my meals so that they're healthier and include proteins. And I stopped buying snacks that I didn't want to eat. I didn't focus on the scale. Instead, I built a system and the results followed. So if you think about what you want to achieve, you trust the process and you build a system around it, a system that actually works for you, then over time, it will change your entire identity. In fact, the most powerful concept in this book is identity-based habits. James Clear says that the most effective way to change your habits is to change your identity. So rather than saying, I want to lose weight, say to yourself, I am a healthy person. Rather than saying, I want to write a book, say to yourself, I am an author. Rather than saying, I want to be confident, say to yourself, I am someone who shows up even when I'm uncomfortable. You see, your habits are a reflection of who you believe you are. Every time you take a small action, you're casting a vote for the person you want to become. One workout is a vote for someone who cares about their body. One page of writing is a vote for someone who is becoming an author. And one moment of courage, even in an uncomfortable situation, is a vote for someone who is brave. And here's the key, you don't need 100% of the votes. You just need enough to shift your identity. This is especially powerful in our 40s and beyond. Because for so long, we've been telling ourselves stories like, I am not disciplined, I always quit, I am never going to lose weight. This is too hard, I am bad with money. But those aren't facts, they are habits of thought. And just like habits of behavior, they can be changed. Now let's talk about how habits actually work. James Clear talks about the habit loop and breaks it down into 4 simple steps. Step 1, the cue, which is the trigger. Step 2, the craving, which is the desire. Step 3, the response, which equates to the action. And step 4, finally, the reward, which is the benefit. For example, you feel stressed, which is the cue. You crave relief, which is the craving. You scroll on your phone, which is the response. And you feel temporarily distracted, which is the reward. Understanding this loop gives you power. Because instead of blaming yourself, you start redesigning your environment. And that leads to the 4 laws of behavior change. James Clear says that every habit, good or bad, follows these 4 rules, which he calls the 4 laws of behavior change. Law number 1, make it obvious. If you want to build a habit, you need to see it. If you want to drink more water, keep a water bottle on your desk. If you want to read more, put the book on your pillow. If you want to work out, lay your workout clothes the night before. And this works not just for good habits, but also for bad habits. If you want to break a habit, do the opposite. Hide the junk food, delete the apps, remove the trigger. As they say, out of sight, out of mind. Law number 2, make it attractive. We're wired to do things that feel good. So stack your habits with things that you enjoy. James Clear calls this temptation building, which is the same as habit pairing or habit stacking. Pair something that you want to do with something that you should do. For example, watch your favorite TV shows while walking on the treadmill. Have your favorite coffee while journaling. I like to listen to a podcast while I'm doing laundry. And suddenly, the habit feels less like a chore and more like a reward. Law number 3, make it easy. Now this one is huge. Often, we overestimate what we can do in a day, and we underestimate what we can do in a year. The key here is to reduce friction. Instead of trying to work out for an entire hour, just do 5 minutes. Instead of trying to write an entire chapter, just write 1 sentence. Here, James Clear also introduces the 2-minute rule. Downscale any habit to something that you can do in just 2 minutes. Why? Because showing up is often the hardest part. Once you're in motion, then momentum takes over. And law number 4, make it satisfying. We repeat behaviors that feel rewarding. So give yourself immediate wins. So track your habits, check it off on a calendar, use a habit tracker. Celebrate consistency, not perfection. I have a habit tracker that I built for you guys. It's completely free. I'm going to link it in the description below, so feel free to check it out. And as you track your habits, realize that it's okay to make mistakes and it's okay to miss once in a while, but never miss twice. Now I'm going to let you in on one of my favorite concepts from the book, something that James Clear calls the plateau of latent potential. This is essentially when you're doing all of the right things, but you're not seeing the results. You're eating better, you're saving more money, you're moving more, you're working on your goals, but it feels like nothing is changing and that you've hit a plateau. And this is where most people quit. But the truth is, progress is happening. It's just happening under the surface. Just like ice, which doesn't melt at 31 degrees, but then all of a sudden it hits 32 degrees and the ice starts to melt. Your breakthrough often happens after the work feels pointless. I've experienced this myself on my YouTube journey. I was posting videos for almost an entire year with very little views and few subscribers, but I kept going anyway because I really enjoyed the process and I loved the little community that I had built. Then all of a sudden one day, one of my videos went viral and it got me to 1,000 subscribers. So my friends, if you're in this season right now, then this is your sign. Don't quit. You're closer than you think. Another powerful truth from Atomic Habits is that you don't rise to the level of your goals. You fail to the level of your systems. And environment beats willpower every single time. Remember, you are not weak. You are not undisciplined. You're just reacting to your environment. If your house is full of snacks, you'll snack. If your phone is always nearby, you will scroll. If your bed is always messy, you'll procrastinate. But when you design your environment to support your future self, then everything becomes easier. You see, success isn't about being stronger, it's about being smarter. So here's the big takeaway from Atomic Habits. You don't need to change your life overnight. You simply need to change your habits one small decision at a time. Because every small action you take is shaping the person that you're becoming. Not next year, not someday, but right now. So start small, start today, and start with just one habit. And remember, the compounding effect of small habits will meet you where consistency lives. See you in the next one.